is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a blessed Monday if you're watching this. And before I get started with this review, this, I guess, seems highly anticipated review. I've seen the comments. Alright, for TNA's final resolution, the last pay-per-view of 2024. Just gotta do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers on Rumble. You know, I've been lacking on my content for Rumble. I'll try to resolve that this week. Alright, I got you guys. But big ups to all the subs. I'm at 322. Mind you, I haven't been uploading over a weekend because I was sick. And I'm good now. No, I just was laying low over the weekend, just watching Warrior on Netflix. that's I spent my weekend. But I am back. Alright. So let's get into this pay-per-view. I don't want to waste any more time because this show is pretty controversial. I'll get to that later on. Alright, but start off with the pre-show. Alright, we got my nigga Leon Slater versus Man. I Hate Pro Wrestling. Dirty Dango, JDC. And let me tell you, this crowd here in Atlanta, ATL, Hotlanta, whatever you want to call it, was fantastic. Right? These guys were invested in the show from beginning to end. Right? Fantastic. There's some big ups to them. Way better than fucking Winston-Salem in that convention center, aka Bingo Hall. Right? And I know some people trying to give them leeway, but I'm like, I look at it from the perspective of this company has been around for 2 decades. Alright? They can do better than fucking Bingo Hall in North Carolina. That's all I'm saying. Alright, it's not a good visual, but here in Final Resolution and Atlanta, this was it. This was a good location. Alright, because you got the crowd there like da 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 da. I tell you what, which reminds me, it's like if JDC were to go back to the WWE, that theme song, he will be over. Right? I tell you, especially these days with these fucking sing-along at 1, 2, 3 ABC fucking cheesy ass fucking theme songs with or whoa. He'll get over. I promise you that. The whole crowd be like da 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 da. Fun, dong, go, go, go. He'd be over. I'm telling you, I can see it right the fuck now. I'm just saying. And don't forget, this man went over. He got a clean win. Clean, definitive win over Chris Jericho. Never forget that. Alright? But I digress. Alright, as far as the match here, I had JDC going over, and that's exactly what the fuck happened. Because he's been dropping out here recently, so they had to give him, gotta throw him a bone. You know what I mean? They had to give him a win. Unfortunately, at the expense of Leon Slater, because he's the one I want to go over on moves to become the new X-Division champion, Leon Slater. I see it now. Right, and then to fulfill Speedball Mike Bailey's wishes, alright, he gave him that pep talk, like, you gotta believe in yourself, brother. Do for Speedball. Alright, but I don't think that's gonna happen based on what I've seen later on tonight, but we'll get to that here in a bit. Alright, but fast forward to the finish. Alright, JDC goes over Schoolboy using the ropes for the 1, 2, 3. So he steals a win from Leon Slater. Sucks because the crowd here was behind Leon Slater, but it is what it is. Again, like, hopefully, like the guy that I want to see beat Moose is Leon Slater. Alright, at least at some point, he needs to be an X-Division champion. That's all I'm saying. Alright, but that's all I have in here, so we move on. Next, we go backstage with the lovely Gia, looking beautiful as always. Alright, she announces that your boy, Hammer, Alexander Hammerstone, is indeed injured. And I'm like, damn it. Fuck. I knew it. I knew it when I was watching the tag team match at Turning Point, because I was watching Alexander. I'm like, yo, he's hurt. He's moving around like he's fucking hurt. And it turns out that, I don't know his exact injury and or how long he's gonna be out for it. It sucks. right? So she brings in, what's my name? Something. Jake something. Right? He says like you think I need Hammerstone, Gia? Look at me. Just look at me. Remember the fucking theme song from Rob Conway? Just look at me. Ain't I a sight to see? Every time I hear that phrase, I always think of that fucking theme song because it's hilarious how awful it is. All right, one of those theme songs is so bad that it's good. You know what I mean? But back to Jake, he was like, "Listen, I thrive on my own. Right? PCO, he needs Sammy. Sammy needs PCO. Zachary needs Trey. Trey needs Zachary. I'm my own man. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna dominate and destroy all of them. All right, and they will know my name. It's Jake something." To that effect. All right. So moving on to the next match, was the last match on the pre-show, which is the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham, versus the King of TNA, Frankie Kazarian. He had to let it be known that he is indeed the king of TNA. And there was some random ass dude in the crowd. He was like, "That's right, that's right, that's right." Oh, yo, like this dude had me dying. Like this crowd was tremendous. All right, absolutely fucking hilarious. All right, because this is as organic as you can get. All right, kind of like a small intimate setting here, to where you got the action up close and personal, and we'll get to that later on. All right, because there's something that I don't think was staged. I don't think it was a work. You know what I mean? But we'll get to that towards the end. But we fast forward to the finish, which was King Cass locking in the cross-face chicken wing Bob Backlund style for the submission. Cass did need to win here because he lost his Santana at Turning Point. But submission, I don't know about that. I'm not really a fan of that finish. Especially because they brought back Gresham and they done fuck off this dude. Besides jobbing here, jobbing there, jobbing everywhere. Right? So I don't know exactly what the end game is for Gresham. Right? But yeah, that's it for the pre-show. So now you move on to the main card. And the first match is for the X Division Championship. At the face of the franchise, Moose versus the time splitter himself, Kushida. This was a good match. I'm not going to break down any of these matches really tonight because it's already late and I'm trying to play catch up this week. But I will say all these matches were good for the most part. There were no bad matches tonight. Like this match right here, like the classic tale, power versus speed. Kushida did look good here in this match. At one point he had the Back to the Future, which is the small package driver on Moose. And I was like, okay. I'm like, all right. And he was trying to work on that arm for the hoverboard lock to get the submission. And Moose was selling arm. But fast forward to the finish, he wins via spear for the 1, 2, 3. And still the X Division champion, Moose. Alright, I know I got some things to say about Moose later on. Alright, we'll get to that here in a bit. But I know he's been getting his ass lit up on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Blue Sky, all that bullshit. Alright, I'll get to that later on. Alright, but this was a good match, and Moose is still a champion. So moving on, we see Gia with First Class with my nigga. Hold up, wait a minute now. KC Navarro. Alright. He says that, for whatever reason, there's a lot of people that don't believe in AJ Francis. But if it wasn't for AJ Francis, nobody would be believing in Joe Hendry. Alright, because we're all about that money, yeah. I said money, yeah. He didn't say that, but he was like, well, tonight We're gonna be all about that gold, baby. This is your moment, big man. Tell him. All right. Then AJ Not Styles. He said that this is the biggest moment in my career. I busted my ass for 6 years in this business for this moment. Busting my ass for 34 years in this life for this moment. Because all I ever wanted to be since I joined this business is to be a world champion. And it's going to happen tonight. Right? Because the world is mine, Chico, and everything in it. Because if you ain't first class, you're last. Right? Then Casey was like, "You good, G?" Right? And they leave. Right? So this was a good promo here. Right? And we live in a world where Stardust is the undisputed champion in the WWE. And we have AJ Not Styles, who's been from diving, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, AJ Francis main eventing a wrestling pay-per-view. It's like we're living in the fucking upside down world. You know what I mean? Like everything's inverted. Like up is down, fucking horizontal is vertical now. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. Well, at least for the Mama Rose part, I will say AJ is doing easily his best work in his career. So like coming to TNA is honestly a brilliant decision in this part because they've been doing right by him. So I'm happy for him. Like I have no ill will towards AJ Francis at all. You know what I mean? Like I got no problem with the man. So I'm happy for him. But right in all seriousness. But moving on, next match, I'm assuming it's determined the number one contenders for the tag team titles. We got Sami Callihan, PCO versus the Rascals versus What's My Name? Something. Jake something. It was out there all alone. This was also a good match. Alright, we've seen that cohesiveness with PCO and Sami Callihan, who I thought they were going to win. Alright, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Rascals, of course, they're one of the best tag teams in the world. Alright, they've been doing that shit for a minute. Well, even though it was Wesley and Zachary, but Trey's no slouch himself. Alright, then Jake, yeah, it's time to shine when he powerbombed all four of these guys. Especially, it was impressive when he hit the sit out powerbomb on PCO. That was impressive. You know, PCO, he no-sold the fuck out of it. Alright, which I'm not a fan of no-selling, but it's PCO. He's like, his gimmick is like he's fucking Canadian Frankenstein. So, hey, no, and plus he's like in his mid-50s still doing this shit, so he's a tough bastard, right, to say the least. Right, but fast forward to the finish, which was the Rascals hitting the feed up to the Lions finisher or tag team finisher to Jake something for the 1, 2, 3. Right, so I guess that means that the Rascals are now the number one contenders for the tag team titles. Right after the match, see Sami PCO, mainly Sami. He goes to respect. The Rascals hugs him, and then the lights go out, and then we see 23, 23, 23, 23, 23. It's just a number. It's just a number. It's just a number. 23. It's just a number. And that's it. And the lights turn back on, and you know, Sami, he gets confronted the Rascals. He's like, "Were you behind it?" He's like, "Nah, ain't us, Holmes." Right, and the crowd was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, what was that? What was that? What was that? You know what I mean? Like 100%. Like that. What was that? What are we doing here? You know, this 23 shit is starting to become goofy, right? And I have no clue who's behind it. I don't fucking know. When I think about the number 23, I think about Michael Jordan, the GOAT, the NBA. All right, and wouldn't that be some shit if fucking TNA brings up Michael Jordan? You got to put the title on him. I don't give a fuck how old he is. Right? You got to do it off of GP. But I'm pretty sure it's not Michael Jordan. All right, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they're probably gonna wait till Genesis to make the reveal. I know, you know, I don't want to wait that long, but I mean, who knows? So, but it does have my interest. I will say that. I do find this to be intriguing, to say the least. But we move on. We see Steve Macklin talking to Eric Young backstage. Eric just basically said that, you know, I got your back. You know, I know we got what it takes to be world champion again. Macklin says, like, You know, like, there's somebody here that I trust more than you, right? But I don't need you to tell me what's on the line. All right, I got this tonight. Tag him, back him. And I'm still confused because they had that peak, as the kids like to say, cinema, that video segment, you know, a few weeks ago with Macklin and Eric Young. And I thought that was going to lead to the creation of a new character, a new gimmick for Steve Macklin. Not for him just revert to the same old Steve Macklin he always has been. You know what I mean? So I'm confused there. Or maybe I was just like reading into it too much. I don't fucking know. Alright, but yeah. But moving on to the next match. And this match right here, I have the biggest problem with. Alright, and that's between Ace Austin, one half of ABC, versus Trent Seven, Mr. Mustache Mountain, even though he has a big ass beard. Well, I'm just saying. Now, this was a good match as well, up until the finish. Alright, and that's what I'm going to highlight for you. Now, you see Trent, he hits a 7-star lariat, and this was earlier, he had a burning hammer, which Ace Austin kicked out of, which I'm not a fan of. You hit the burning hammer, that's it. It should be over. Like, you're done. You're washed. It's over. I'm definitely not a fan of people kicking out the burning hammer. So not only does he hit a burning hammer earlier in the match, he kicks out of it. He then hits a 7-star lariat, followed by a twisting pile driver, or as he calls it, the Seven in Heaven. And this man kicks out at 1. I shit you not. He kicks out at 1. I'm like, who the fuck does Ace Austin think he is? Will Ospreay? What the fuck was that? They're like, shit like this, like, I'll never get a pass for it. Like, I fucking no-sell like an offense like that, especially this late into the match. That's insane. Alright, he's like, you're not Hulk Hogan, brother. Right? There's no hulking up after a lariat into a pile driver. Alright, I'm just saying, but that's insane. That took me out of the match right there. Ace hits the 1-2 sweep, which is the art finesse into the fold for 1-2-3. Ace Austin goes over. And I'm like, I just, yeah, this is the match I dislike the most on this pay-per-view. Even though it wasn't even a bad match, it's just a finish. The finish took me out of it. Because I'm not a fan of no-selling. It never had been. But at least when it's done, unless it's done in the correct circumstances. Like you're not PCO, alright? That's not your gimmick. See what I'm saying? The crowd was all for it. So they're like, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up to Trent Seven. So hey, more power to them if they enjoyed it. But I didn't. Like, I wanted Trent to win, but I guess like the way they booked Ace Austin in this match, like, I would not be surprised if he's the one that beats Moose. He's doing it for Chris Bay. Even though we already seen Ace Austin as an X Division champion. But I mean, they got to give him something to do, I guess. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm not a fan of that finish, man, but I said what I needed to, so we got to keep it moving. Alright, our next match is between the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace, versus the Harvester of Despair, Rosemary. Right? Again, like, I have no complaints about the matches besides the last match, the previous match. Alright, all these matches were good, honestly. And Jordan was crazy over here in Atlanta. Atlanta loves him from Jordan Grace. I'll tell you what. Alright? Yeah. Like, I'll fast forward to the part where they're on the outside, right? And there was a spot where, like, Jordan tries to Irish whip Rosemary to the steel steps, but Rosemary counters and then kind of does like a, I don't know, kind of like a Superman punch, kind of, to Jordan, but it looked terrible. Right? But the crowd was like, see this dude right there, he's like, we're not worthy. I'm like, what's my guy doing, right? But she was playing into the crowd, you know what I mean? Like, the crowd was just laughing. Like, they're having a good time regardless. Alright, and then she hit one of the best spears I've ever seen her hit on Jordan Grace. From the, she runs down the ramp and spears her into the ring. Alright, really, that should have been it right there. Alright, that was well executed. But we're going to fast forward to the finish, alright, which was Jordan Grace hitting the muscle buster to Rosemary, tries to go for the pin, and then out of nowhere we see someone gank the referee to the outside, All right, the camera pans out. We see the big booty ref laid out. Or I don't know her name, but she could get it any day of the week. We see that it's some masked hoodlum, some ruffian out there causing all this brazen assault on the TNA official. Right, lays her out, then attacks Jordynne Grace, throws her into the turn post. Fast forward, she hits the hammerlock snap DDT, like she's Andre El Idolo for some reason. So Jordynne lays her out. She takes off her puffer jacket, all right, and that's and this is shit I've been seeing people talk about. It's like that chin. Like people are saying, man, I tell you, like people are fucking ruthless online. All right, and I get it. I mean, I've seen how dark shit can get. All right, but these people, they're relentless with this shit. Time out, like, what's the point of wearing a mask when you see that fucking chin a mile away? All right, you don't even need fucking binoculars to see that motherfucker. Like, you know, in the Cobra Kai, Tori, like she broke the brick with her hand. Well, she could use her chin for that motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry, it kills me when people are calling her the Crimson Chin, all right, or they call her the Triple C, which is the Crimson Chin, and you know what? It's one of Billy Butcher's favorite words, if you've ever seen The Boys, all right? I'll let you fill in the blanks on that one. She takes off the mask, and it's revealed to be Tessa Blanchard, right? Miss TNA herself, Tessa in action. See what I did there? Or as she likes to say, or the chin of TNA. I'm telling you, that chin is dangerous, man. Like people shit on Bailey, her chin, like, man, please. All right, you do battle the chins between Bailey and fucking Tessa Blanchard. I'm going Tessa 10 times out of 10. I'm just saying. Right, I like. I'm sorry. The comments, the people were pissed. All right, they are fucking heated. All right, and I don't know. I get it, you know, because this is a controversial woman. All right, and I talked about this in my redemption angle for Tessa Blanchard, which is kind of crazy. To actually see her back in TNA. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I heard rumors like the day of that she was gonna be back. No, I'm like, ain't no way. I don't believe that. And here she is. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. Now you got a bunch of the flaming keyboard warriors, you know, where the fuck they identify as, what's it, SJWs? Where the fuck? I don't fucking know. They come up with these new retarded terms every fucking day. Who gives a fuck? Like, you got people, they were irate. Atlanta, all they did was just boo her. And rightfully so. Because they attacked their favorite Jordynne Grace, because Jordynne was crazy over here tonight. Like they were cheering her like you think like her hometown was in Atlanta. I'm just saying. So I think it's a combination like of Tessa attacking her and then just Tessa being Tessa. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers hate her, and I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Like I said this before. I'm indifferent. You know what I mean? Like Tessa was never my favorite. Like I don't hate her, all right, but I do see the potential in her, right? And that's why I made that video, the redemption angle for Tessa Blanchard, which they kind of still do, you know. But I don't know. Well, there's different ways that they could spin this. All right, if they want to go with the heel heat, I tell you, boy, I tell you what, she could easily be the best heel in 2025 if they play up to it. You know what I mean? Because from my understanding, she never really apologized for her actions, which that's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I've been spit on before, and I damn near almost got myself into some serious trouble. All right, but you know, so I know how degrading, I know how humiliating it feels to be spit on. All right, like you want to kill a motherfucker for doing that, for disrespecting you like that. Well, I completely 110% understand. On top of the fact of her, you know, calling people out their name, saying racial slurs, and being a bully to people like Chelsea Green or La Rosa Negra. I think that's her name, Black Rose, the Puerto Rican chick. So yeah, you know, and whoever else, like, I don't know, there was a bunch of fucking people that came out. And all stemmed from a fucking tweet. When This was after TNA making the retarded decision to put the belt, the world title, on Tessa Blanchard like she's fucking China. I mean, like, come on, man. Because of that, Sami Callihan and Brian Cage can never be taken seriously ever again. All right, like, you lost to Tessa Blanchard. Right, like, you looking the way you do when you're fucking Brian Cage and you lose to Tessa Blanchard. Come on, man. That ruined him. That was the moment that killed Brian Cage's career. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Besides the fact that he sucks on the mic and all that shit, and that's true, right? But there's ways to mitigate that. It's the fact that he lost to Tessa Blanchard. He was like, "You're washed. It's over." Now I'm stuck in AEW, floundering around for what's it, going on year 4, year 5 now? Like, not doing a damn thing. Fuck all over there. But back to Tessa. She puts out a tweet talking about women's empowerment, that we gotta do better. All right, and then there was like a blitzkrieg. All right, this is a storm of tweets calling out her hypocrisy. Like, bitch. Like, I still remember that shit. I'm like, damn. Like, they're going in on this woman. Goes down to Mexico, gets married, if I'm not mistaken, and now she's back. All right, there you go. Like, that's the story of Tessa Blanchard in a nutshell. But, man, the amount of hate that this woman is getting is astronomical. You got people calling her Tessa Clanchard. All she's missing was a white hood and white sheets. Right, but Crimson Chin, that's I'm sorry, that would never not be funny. I'm surprised they didn't give her like a superhero gimmick, you know what I mean? To where she tries to incorporate her chin as a finisher. Like, you get hit by that motherfucker, that's it. That's a knockout. There you go. There's a gimmick. There's a babyface gimmick for Tessa, the chin. Right? Let me stop. Oh, God, people are hilarious, man. Yeah, you get the point. All right, they're going in on Tessa. Or you got people going in on Moose and Max Caster, apparently, because Moose, these two are friends. Okay, now I didn't know about these because people were bringing up all these allegations on Moose's end, like being friends with a so-called child molester or rapist or some shit, or him being a wife beater because he got involved in some domestic dispute with his ex or some shit, pushed her down the stairs. I don't know the details and all that, so I'm not here to judge. All right, I don't know. I haven't heard anything since, so I'm like, hey, don't don't do it again, Moose. All right, that's all I can say. All right, I know shit happens, and none of us are perfect. All right, just don't do it again. But Moose supporting Tessa makes sense because they were roommates at one point, so I'm pretty sure they're good friends. So that doesn't surprise me. But it reminds me of when Scott Hall, one of my favorites of all time, he came to Hulk Hogan's defense. He was like, "Look, man," he's like, "I've known the Hulkster for years. No, I've never seen him be racist, in my experience. You know what I mean? I can't speak on anyone else's. But nobody's perfect. There's only one perfect person that ever existed. And that was Jesus Christ. And he crucified him. So everybody else falls is a tad bit short. That's standard. People make mistakes. It was a long time ago. What's done is done. Right? And he was, pretty much cheering for him to come back. Right? That's basically what he said. He was the only one. I know people like fucking Kevin Nash and Whitey Piper came on to defend him as well. So, it is what it is. And do I think Hulk Hogan is a racist? Absolutely. Right? Fuck Hulk Hogan. Alright? It's like Tracy Smothers says, fuck Hulk Hogan and the horse he rode in on. Alright? Especially, even recently this year, he was doing some promotion for some shit beer, IPA. Right? And this sexy ass black chick came out and accused him of fucking racism and negligence, being dismissed. She originally thought that she had a position to be one with the girls, the showgirls for the promotion, and then Hulk Hogan completely dismissed her. That'll work for me, brother. And I'm like, why not? Huh? What's wrong with her, huh? I don't see any deficiencies in this gorgeous woman right here. So that tells me, the problem lies in the color of her skin. And for that, fuck you to Hulk Hogan. Now and forever. Like, I can never shit on his accomplishments in the ring. I can shit on him as a person, as a human being. Right? Fuck him. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, man, they're going in on Moose. Someone called him a kneecap. Someone said, see, that's why Sean didn't pick your ass for the NXT collaboration. I'm like, damn, that's harsh. I'm like, at the same time, hey, they didn't even pick fucking Eric Young or Josh Alexander. That's not fair. That's a bit harsh. All right. What else he said? I bet your ancestors were real happy, which implies that his ancestors were a bunch of house Negroes. I'm like, damn. Again, that's hate. Man, oh man. Bringing up this man's ancestors. All right. And then some weirdo brought up browsers. I was watching the Magnificent Mongo Slade. Did I say his name? But big up Sam, check out his channel. I was watching his coverage on this shit, and I was dying. I was laughing my ass off from these tweets. All right, from these keyboard warriors. And he brought up a good point. He's like, I don't know if you think some of these people are even black. And that's true. And not only that, but these people don't even watch TNA. That's a crazy thing about it. Like, you're up in arms about Tessa Blanchard, but you don't even watch the product. So what the fuck you mad about for it? Or you're not gonna watch. You weren't watching before. You ain't gonna watch it after. So why the fuck do you care? And I know Masscaster got some heat too, but I don't give a fuck about Masscaster. He's always making an ass out of himself on Twitter or X. That's his gimmick these days. So I don't fucking care about that. All right, but when I made the video about Tessa Blanchard, it was all about redemption, trying to redeem herself, right? And they can still do that, right? Especially if she never apologized for her actions, she needs to do that, right? First and foremost, again, they can go two ways. They can feed into it, all the heat, the negativity, and push her that way, be the top heel in the business, or she's to make amends, right her wrongs, and come out like the grown woman that she is and apologize for being on some fuck shit. All right, because that's unacceptable to behave in that manner, to disrespect people like that. All right, she's lucky she didn't catch the wrong person, right? I'm just saying. All right, some people don't play that shit. All right, so she's to come out, apologize. I fucked up. It's inexcusable what I did, and I'm sorry. And I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. All right. It's like Silco said in Arcade. All right, one of the most powerful things a human being is capable of doing is the power of forgiveness, or something to that effect. Right? It does take an immense amount of strength to forgive. And I know there will always be people that will say, fuck Tessa Blanchard now and forever. And it is what it is. You can't win those people back. But I think you could win back some of the people if you just come out and apologize. Don't pull Hulk Hogan to where he's like, oh, why do people hate me, brother? It's like, because you're a racist piece of shit. All right? That's why. Okay? So, Tessa, I know you're not going to watch this shit. All right? But my advice to her is, either stay off X, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever you call it. Make amends. Right? Sincerely, from the bottom of your heart, apologize to the people that you fucked over, that you disrespected, and get baptized like you're Shawn Michaels, because people forget how much of a dickhead he was in the 90s, all the fuck shit that he did. Alright, he even still did when he came back, but it's all good because he found redemption in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But if you do that, then you need to do it for the right reasons. Right? And I hope Sean did it for the right reasons as well. I don't know the man, but I'm just saying that's another option. I know Chad Gable, come to find out he's a huge Christian. I didn't know that. All I'm saying is that don't use it being baptized as an angle, because that's crazy. Right? Like, that's fucking insane. That's like Vince McMahon challenging God to a match. Do it for the right reasons, because you want to have a better life for yourself. You want to live life with God the way that it was intended in the Bible. And that's all I pretty much got to say about this Tessa Blanchard shit. Right? I never hated her. I'm indifferent. Like, I don't care enough about her to hate her. See what I'm saying? And it's not like with Cody Rhodes, where it's like, the minute I see this fucking jobber, it was like instantaneous hatred. I'm like, there's something about this dude I don't fucking like. All right? And the more that came out, more I was correct. Right? And to this day, I still don't understand why people like him. But that's for another video. All right? But yeah, that, as far as Tessa being back, the least she can do is apologize. All right, make amends. That's a fucking minimum that you could do. For fuck's sake, do the right thing. Well, that's all I'm saying. But go backstage. We see Gia tries to catch up with Tessa. She says that apparently people forgotten that I built TNA. I miss TNA. All right, and I'm gonna take back what is mine. And then she fucking pie-faced just smushes Gia into the wall. Out of line. That was completely out of pocket. You don't put your hands on Gia, right? Like, put your grimy, dirty ass hands on that beautiful woman right there. All right, nah, right? But yeah, that's what happened here, man. So where Tessa goes from here, it's on her. We'll see. Like, hopefully she's on her best behavior, does the right thing, right? But time will tell. All right, we move on. Next, you see EY. He comes out for commentary, gets a good pop. But next match is a fatal 4-way to determine the number one contender for TNA World Heavyweight Championship. This was easily the match of the night because the crowd was into it. The crowd was probably into this match the most. Like this, probably the tag team title match and then the main event. Right, but this was the match of the night in my opinion. Alright, you have my nigga, Mike Santana, Steve Macklin, looking down the barrel of a weapon himself, Perk Alexander, and say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Dun, dun. And the whole fucking crowd was singing. Right? And again, this is an example. If you make a good song, people will sing to it. Don't force it. But this man, Joe Hendry, was crazy over here in Atlanta. The people believed and Joe Hendry. And who do we have here at ringside? Now, hey yo, boom, 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 boom. My nigga, West Side Gun. And again, like this dude, when I tell you this dude is a wrestling fan, he is. Like, he is about that life. And big ups to him. I'm gonna fast forward. I'm not gonna really break down the match, but I'm gonna point out, like, I hate when matches do this Tower of Doom spot. I can't stand it. I don't care when it's done or how it's being done. I hate it. I can't fucking stand it, man. I'm like, oh, but he did the clockbuster. I don't care, man. I don't care. It's just a setup. It takes too fucking long. Like, you gotta wait for the guy to get his balance and then they do it. It's stupid. It's like, why you guys teaming up together when it's supposed to be a fatal 4-way? You see what I'm saying? Even though, like, technically, like, Perk Alexander is the only heel in the match, but regardless, it's every man for themselves. See what I'm saying? We fast forward, we see Perk Alexander tries to zip tie Mike Santana to the outside somewhere, where there are stairs. All right, and he was struggling. He was, and the crowd was like, "You can't zip tie, you can't zip tie." The crowd was on these people's asses tonight, that's for sure. Right? But fast forward to the finish, which was Joe Hendry handing the standing ovation to Perk Alexander for the 1, 2, 3. Crowd popped, right? And like Joe was acting like he won the damn title. Right? The way he was celebrating was like, you ain't there yet. You got your shot at Genesis. Genesis is where they complete the story, or as they like to say, hashtag finish the story for Joe Hendry at Genesis. It's kind of fitting. How appropriate. It's the genesis of Joe Hendry's TNA World Heavyweight title reign. There you go. But moving on, we get another video package for Chris Bay, the Ultimate Finesser, and come to find out the severity of his injury is more devastating than is originally reported. So I know his loved ones, his girlfriend, his family are trying to be optimistic, that maybe at some point he'll get back in the ring, but most importantly, I don't want it to fuck up his quality of life forever. You know what I mean? To where he can't do simple shit like get out of bed, walk to the refrigerator or go to the bathroom, shit like that. So again, I continue to pray for Chris Bay, and I do appreciate TNA for continuing to support and doing these reminders that, hey, Chris Bay's still injured. You know what I mean? This dude is he's going through the biggest struggle in his life. So continue to show your love and support for Chris Bay. All right, and that's big ups to TNA for that. All right, we move on. You get a promo backstage with the wanted man, the current, reigning, defending, undisputed TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Nemeth. All right. He says, I've been hearing all these speculations that AJ Francis is going to beat me, and that Genesis is going to be AJ Francis versus Joe Hendry, full circle moment, because that's where it all started between Joe Hendry and AJ Francis. Or maybe Frankie Kazarian might cash in the fucking car shot trophy on whoever. None of that matters, right? Because I'm the showstopper, I'm the show stealer. I go out there every single night, bust my ass, and prove that why I am the man here in TNA. I'm the best. That's not going to change moving to next year. Right? And tonight, I beat AJ Francis and I move on to Genesis. And I'll beat Joe Hendry's ass again. I'm the one man. I'm your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I'm not going anywhere. And the crowd cheered. They're like, yo, Nick's talking. Talk your talk, Nick. There you go. Say it with your chest. And that's what he did. All right, so it's one of Nick's best promos, honestly. But now we move on to the next match, and that's for the Knockouts World Championship. All right, here we go. That week got badass herself, Tasha Steelz versus Russia Slamovic. And this was honestly one of Tasha Steelz' best performances, one of her best matches I've seen from her. I'm not going to really break down the match, but there's a few moments that I want to point out. All right, fast forward, see Masha. I don't know what the fuck you call this, but it's she hits a suicide senton to the outside, wipes out the top flight security. Now they're outside taking a nap. If you watch them, throughout the match, they don't move from that spot. They just they're pretending to sleep. Alright, taking a break. Alright, fast forward, spot of the match easily is when Tasha hits a snap suplex to Masha on steel steps. And the crowd was oh, we're holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. You damn right. I know that shit hurt. Damn. But the ending to this match was also smooth, right? Because I think Tasha was trying to go for her blackout finisher, but Masha counters and Tasha slips, but she catches her balance. And the crowd's whoa. They're whoa. Right? Tries to go for the cutter. Masha counters with a knee, then hits the package pile driver or the got style pile driver for the 1, 2, 3. And still the Knockouts World Champion, Russia Slamovic. Right, and if I'm Masha, I'm worried. Right? You got the Crimson Chin back in TNA. So her days are already numbered, even more so than they already were. All right, now me personally, I still want to see Ash Valiant be the one to beat Masha, but I would not be surprised if they put the title back on Tessa Blanchard. Right? I wouldn't be surprised at all. Right? But we shall see. Right? We move on to the next match, and that's for the tag team titles. You got the System, Trust the System, and Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards versus the Hardy Boys, or as Santimorella likes to say, the Hard Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy. This was also a good match, but it was kind of confusing. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm going into it thinking okay, it's a table match, so I'm thinking this is some 2K shit to where it's the first team to put the other team through a table wins the match. that was my interpretation, but I was wrong because there are multiple tables that were broken, that were smashed to smithereens in this match. So we fast forward, we see the system. They put Matt Hardy through the table with their tag team finisher. I don't know what it's called. Put his ass through the table, and that's one. So I'm like, each person from the team has to go through a table. Like, all right, got it. And then maybe they said that on commentary, but I must have missed it. So. And throughout the match, the crowd's chanting, "Fuck the system, fuck the system." And then we see Eddie, he's arguing with some dude that looks like a combination of Danny DeVito and Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. That's this dude right here. I don't know exactly what Eddie was saying, but it was hilarious because the dude was just no-selling it. He's basically like, "Okay, buddy, you're not that guy, pal." That's basically what he fucking said here. Eddie was like, "Man, you lucky, I gotta get back to this match." All right, so then we fast forward. Right, we see Matt Hardy. He has a twist of fate off the ring apron. It's Brian Myers to the table, which garners a "holy shit, holy shit, holy shit" chant, and "I am the table," because one of the tables did not break, which is crazy because you had both tables, posted up, and they only went through the first table, and somehow the second table didn't break. So that was crazy. That's why I got the "holy shit" chant. And now we fast forward to the spot of the match. This was the best shit I've seen all night. This was hilarious. I was dying when I seen this. All right, you see Eddie, he's arguing with Fluffy out there for some reason. I guess Fluffy was talking shit. He smacks the water bottle out of his hand. And, I don't know what the fuck Eddie was saying to him, but this dude proceeds to smack Eddie Edwards. He says, "What did the 5 fingers say to the face?" Slaps this man. And I'm like, yo. And then Eddie was like, "No, this nigga didn't." He's like, "Ain't no fucking way." Smacks the shit out of him. I'm like, "Bitch." He said, smacks his bitch ass. Right? Like, you must have lost your fucking mind putting your hands on me. Like, you're lucky I didn't knock your ass out. That's what I'll be thinking if I'm Eddie Edwards. He did no, that's the only response. Right? Like, smack the shit out of him. Like, I'm surprised he didn't knock his ass out. So big ups to Eddie for that. Smacking. Sometimes you got to smack a bitch. Right? That's what the fuck happened here. Then he pushed him. Referees intervene. And you're like, "Get this guy out of here. Get him out." All right. And the crowd was chanting, "You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up." All right. Fast forward to the finish. See Jeff Hardy. He posted up with the fans. It's a swanton bomb. Like near the up there in the stands. Your table for the 1, 2, 3. And still, the TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys. And the crowd popped. They erupted. Fucking lost their shit. Alright? So the Hardys are still over. Alright? They're still one of the greatest tag teams ever. Of all time. Alright? And now we move on to the main event.
Well, it looks like the fight's already started. It's time for the main event.
And that's for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Alright, you got AJ Not Styles, aka AJ Francis from First Class, challenging the wanted man, the current reigning, defending, undisputed TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Nemeth. And I think it's safe to say that this was easily AJ Francis' best match in his entire career. This and that match he had with PCO. I enjoyed that match also, but this was probably AJ's best performance in his career so far. I'm just gonna fast forward. We see King Cass. He comes out. He's like, "Whoa there, buddy. I'm about to mess with the king." Some shit like that. He thinks he's fucking Elvis. Alright? So he comes out. He does commentary for this match. Fast forward, we see AJ hits the spear of a lifetime. Like, if you showed this to Braun Breaker, he'd be proud. Or even Goldberg. He speared the shit out of him. And Nick is still one of the best sellers of all time. Alright, this is one of them two-a-day fucking spears. Like, he's at fucking practice. That's what the fuck that was. He calls it the TFL. Total fucking legend. Apparently. Gets a 2 count. Alright? And fast forward, and this might be well, the spot of the match. He tries to go for a moonsault off the second rope. Like, I couldn't believe it. I guess he can dive. Right? Apparently, like, that was impressive. Nick hits the Fame-Master for the 2 count. Right? Fast forward, see AJ hits the Rude Bomb. Shoutouts, big ups to the It Factor of TNA. Still, now and forever, Bobby Roode. Right? Hits that for 2 count. He then hits a nasty, and I do mean a nasty chokeslam, which he calls the down payment to Nick. Nick sells out of it. He rolls out the ring. AJ then picks his ass up like he's Brock Lesnar and throws his ass back into the ring. So Nick, he was bumping like crazy in this match. But we fast forward to the finish, which was Nick. He counters the down payment with a mid-air Fame-Master into the super kick into the danger zone. Yeah. For 1, 2, 3. And still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, the wanted man, Nick Nemeth. Okay. After the match, First Class jumps him, beat his ass, and then we see say his name and he appears. I believe in Johandre. Dun, dun, comes out for the save. And then it teased one more time, Nick Nemeth versus Johandre. Winner takes all at Genesis. And this is it. If Joe doesn't win, he's done. He's washed. It's over. And that's it for TNA's Final Resolution, the last pay-per-view for 2024. What a way to go out. This was a good pay-per-view. A solid show overall. Indeed, I enjoyed it. And now I want to hear from you guys. How do you guys feel about Final Resolution? Are you happy that Tessa's back? Or are you like, fuck that ugly bitch? I can't stand her. Let me know. Alright, I already told you how I feel. Like, this is her last chance. Right? Like, someone brought to my attention that this is the 3rd time that she's been back here at TNA. So this is it. So she fucked this up, and it's over. Like, she's washed. It's over. Alright. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm not going to do the usual spiel that I always do because I'm still not 100%. Alright, but it's been, I don't want to go through Monday and not, like, upload some content for you guys. I know you guys been looking forward to this review. Alright, so I hope you enjoy it. Alright. The next video will be the best booker of the year. And then the next video will be a request for Roxanne Perez. And don't you worry, I have just the award to give to her. Okay? So yeah, be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, protect you and yours, loved ones, watch what you eat. God damn, these people don't give a damn. They'll serve you fucking undercooked food and watch you get sick, and then you can't do shit about it. So, just be safe out here. And yeah, that's it. Wasting off you guys' time, so I'm out of here. Till next time, adios.